Hi, I'm Jan Wenzel, Chief Productivity Officer at Life Contained. This is a quick snippet on email etiquette. In the last 2 decades, much of our business communication has migrated to email. Most companies, however, don't train their employees on email etiquette. Consequently, many folks are making up the rules as they go along, or worse yet, not even giving email etiquette a thought and sending out note after unprofessional note. May you find the following email etiquette suggestions a valuable place to start an email conversation with those you communicate with most. First, strong subject lines. The subject line is where specificity is key, and many times to get specific, you need to write the subject line last. You can use a context key. For example, your team could know that action or hot are the keywords that you're going to use before whatever it is that you would specify in your subject line. And sometimes writing from the receiver perspective is what will give it the clearest action. The next thing to consider is putting the action first. This is an idea that I got from the book The Hamster Revolution, and they suggest that you define the action at the onset and then provide background information. So for example, you could have at the top of the email, request, complete this 4-minute survey by November 11. And then there could be background information about what that survey is all about. You also want to shape your emails well. Use the salutations and closings, or at least start your email conversations this way. There might be some people that you've had an ongoing conversation via email and you've cut these. But before you get to that point, start with using the salutations and closings. You also want to embed links when possible, just to clean up the letters that are within your email. And you want to use both upper and lowercase letters. And when you can, apply a horizontal signature so that, just like this example, you're not taking up 5 different lines of text, but rather just 2. Another thing to consider is to create templates to automate frequently sent messages. You also might want to create shorthand to communicate common phrases. For example, you can use NRN at the end of a message, and you can put the meaning of that, no reply needed. And this can send a signal to folks that, I don't need a message back, and quite frankly, I don't want one. EOM is another acronym that you can use, and you can put this in the subject line. And EOM just means end of message, because the subject line is contained entirely, or the message rather, is contained entirely in the subject line. And once your team is familiar with these, it's really easy to use. This idea is from Seth Godin, and it's pretend that each email that you send and each name that you send it to cost you as much as it costs you to send a letter. And this will hopefully help you send fewer. You also want to consider alternate communication channels. Sometimes a phone call or a face-to-face visit is better. And lastly, you want to establish rules of engagement and broadcast those. Maybe using an email policy or doing some kind of training or meeting around the topic of email. May you find these email etiquette lessons not only beneficial to your professional reputation, but may you also find they save you time and frustration. I'm Jan Wenzel. Thanks for tuning in.